The Cybermen are, in my opinion, one of the scariest Doctor Who monsters. Turning people into cybernetic beings is terrifying. So the idea of them being a video game monster, that sounds incredible. Welcome to the series where I'm looking back on the Doctor Who adventure games. And today we're talking about Blood of the Cybermen by Phil Ford. This was the second episode in this series and launched alongside the first episode, City of the Daleks. It also featured a sort of redesigned Cybus Cyberman without their branded chest logo. Maybe they couldn't get the licensing rights from Lumic. Back when this came out, this was my favourite. The Cybermen lumbering after you in a corridor really spooked me out. So, I hope you have your winter clothes packed because we're heading to the North Pole. It's present day, also known as 2010, and we meet Chisholm, a man who is trying to escape from an unknown danger on a skidoo. Through a series of flashbacks, we discover during a scientific dig, Chisholm discovered something in the ice.
Oh my god.
It's the arm of a Cyberman. An avalanche hits as Chisholm falls off the cliff. So I have a feeling that this dig isn't going according to plan. Or maybe it is part of the plan, I don't know, let's find out. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Amy, however, are nice and warm in the TARDIS. The Doctor is bragging about how he taught Elvis how to play the guitar. I'm seeing a recurring theme. Last week we mentioned the Beatles and now it's Elvis. The Doctor is such a name dropper. They both notice a flashing light on the console.
Someone's sending an SOS.
Which is obviously a reference to the ABBA song SOS. Well, I wish it was. They decide to follow the mysterious signal, unsure of its origins. The TARDIS lands in an ice cave where we saw Chisholm fall down earlier. One of my first thoughts was, my god, Amy is going to freeze to death in that miniskirt. Thankfully, the writer tackled that straight away.
And the TARDIS will keep you warm, at least for a while.
Which I think is a really good way of saying that they didn't have the resources to design Amy another outfit. I think it's really funny, the idea that the TARDIS can somehow manage your temperature. That's crazy. But hey, it's cheaper than designing a whole new model for Amy, so I'll forgive it. They both begin to explore when the cave begins to shake.
It's an earthquake. An ice quake.
Just a little glacial movement.
The Doctor passes it off as Amy complains that she isn't wearing the correct footwear.
Where are you going?
Just a quick look around.
Didn't you listen to anything I just said?
No.
Okay, rude. We discover Chisholm's skidoo, but no Chisholm. But it does contain a sat-nav that we steal, because why not? We love theft. The Doctor heads for the cliff and sees Chisholm at the bottom. He's a bottom? And look, we gotta move fast before this dude freezes to death. Well, not that fast. We're still dealing with the super slow platforming of moving towards the edge and clicking in order to move down, waiting 10 minutes for the Doctor to perform the animation of moving down, and then repeating. Once we get down, we have to find a way to get him out, and we also have to find a way to revive him. First, we grab some rope that is conveniently placed where we need it, and we chuck it up to our good pal Amy Pond.
Amy, can you tie this rope to something, please?
Sure.
As Amy, we tie the rope to the skidoo's motor so we can winch the dude up. Then, as the Doctor, we practice a little more light thievery by grabbing his mess caddy from his backpack. We fill it up with some water, we heat it up with the sonic, and we have made the most disgusting hot water drink of all time. We pour it into the dude's mouth like a mother bird feeding a baby chick, and he wakes up. Dude's a little bit worse for wear though. He's got a sprained ankle, so he can't do any epic platforming like us. So we attempt to hoist him up with the skidoo's motor and rope, and it goes absolutely balls up. The skidoo falls down into the cave, and it's an absolute disaster. Now we're stuck at the bottom of this ice cavern like a couple of dressed up penguins with nowhere to go. But thankfully, when the skidoo landed, it crushed some ice, making a brand new exit for the Doctor and his latest icy friend. Amy yet again complains about her shoes.
Better get a move on. These shoes really aren't much good on ice.
Like, babes, I know you're uneven on the ice. You're going through it. but I'm literally stuck down here in an ice cavern. You could just go back to the TARDIS if you wanted to, that's fine, but I'm down here. I'm in real danger. Can you stop making it all about you? But whatever, it's fine. Chisholm can't jump, so we have to make a route that is easier for him. My God, I feel like everyone is being so demanding on me today. Like, being the Doctor is like a full-time job. We do some incredible, sick platforming and go full beast mode when we push a huge block of ice so we can make a softer incline for our good pal Chisholm. Then I go straight back to platforming and I fall off and I die. The end. Chisholm freezes to death. Amy falls off the cliff because of her poor choice in footwear. Just kidding. Don't make me laugh. I'm a Time Lord, baby, and I'm back. This time, I make the decision not to fall off the ice and die. And success! I make it past the deadly ice things. But we've hit a dead end. Thankfully, the sonic screwdriver can do literally anything. Like heat the base of a massive ice block so it can fall and make a bridge for Chisholm. Sure, why wouldn't the sonic screwdriver do that? It can do anything. The sheer thud makes a bunch of ice break, clearing our way. And we're back to Amy, baby. The Doctor says that we should all go to Chisholm's base, and Chisholm subtly hints that he doesn't want to go there.
No, I can't go back there. No!
Amy, seeing this clearly upset and distraught man, shows him some real compassion.
He's delirious.
Dude tries to run away in fear and falls over and knocks himself out. Baby, that is so embarrassing. And on international television, let's play it again. Goofball. How embarrassing. But since we found the sat-nav earlier, which I'm using the word find very loosely, I stole it, we can find the base without asking. See? Sometimes theft is okay. I'm the Doctor, mate. I'm saving the universe. If I need to steal a little thing to help it, I'm gonna do it. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Call the Jadoon? Get out of here.
If I hook this up to the TARDIS, I can rewire it in no time.
Oh, you know what that means. It's time for the cable minigame. Dun 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 dun. Now we have our coordinates, we set off. We land back at the base, and Chisholm is furious, babes.
You brought me back. Well, they'll get us all.
The Doctor promises that he can help them, but Chisholm doesn't believe him, especially after they changed them.
Into what?
Like robots, slaves, cyber slaves.
Huh? Cyber slaves, you say? Almost like the cyber... No time! It's a cybermat! It bites Chisholm and slithers off into the distance. We haven't seen a cybermat since Revenge of the Cybermen, and they actually look quite similar to that redesign as well. We later see the cybermats in the new series in Closing Time, and later again as cybermites in Nightmare in Silver. It's really interesting that we get 3 different versions of the cybermats in the Matt Smith era, but we don't see them anywhere else in the new series, as of the making of this video.
A cybermat?
It's not anything like a mouse mat. It didn't look like one.
Okay, is that supposed to be funny? Why is Amy being written like this throughout the whole episode? I love Amy Pond, but she's just a menace in this one. I don't know. Give my girl Karen something to do. Give her better dialogue. These cybermats are different to what we've seen on screen though. They can convert people into cyber slaves. So instead of converting them in the traditional way, they convert them via a virus, rewriting their genetic makeup and becoming Cybermen that way. When Chisholm is bit by a cybermat, he knows what this means, and he isolates himself in order to protect everyone else.
What's going on here?
I think the answer to that is in there.
Yeah, of course. It would be.
We attempt to make our way into the base, and we're greeted by, oh God, it's a cyber slave! Basically, it's just a Cyberman, but dripped out in a boiler suit. Am I too old to say dripped out? Probably. I'm not going to say that again. I'm sorry. Bro starts chasing the Doctor like a zombie. And then as Amy, we look around the courtyard for something to kill the hell out of this guy. We find a steam vent and have to time it just right so we boil him alive and melt his little metal flesh. And it works. Job done. The Doctor, now a certified kleptomaniac, steals the ID card from the cyberslave's body so he can gain access to the base. As soon as we walk in, another cyberslave is standing in the hallway, face turned away from us. Dude, I hate these guys so much. They're so scary. Don't do it. And unfortunately, curiosity gets the better of me and I want to see if he will chase me. And well, he just kills me. Like, I should have seen that coming. There's a locked room belonging to Elizabeth Meadows that needs a password. Apparently our keycard isn't good enough for this locked room. So we find a little cybermat, give it a little sonic, and off it goes on its merry way.
It did not like that.
The sonic signal gives them a cyber migraine.
Which gives the Doctor an idea. Maybe we could rig something together at a certain frequency to deactivate them. But first, let's hack into this computer. Another crime, if anyone is keeping score. We discover that Elizabeth Meadows' daughter's birthday is tomorrow, the 5th of May. 0505 seems an obvious passcode. And it is. And we're in.
Doctor, look out!
We're almost stabbed to death by Professor Meadows. Why does this keep happening? In City of the Daleks, Sylvia in the Underground attacked us straight away, and now Professor Meadows? Leave me alone. We forgive her though, because she's been barricaded in that room for days, and she's the one who sent the signal. The Doctor discovers the Cyberman arm that they found in the ice, and she explains that they were doing a geological survey.
It must have been under the ice for 10,000 years.
Amazing.
Their cyber ship is buried deep within the ice, and the geological survey must have woken them up. So they sent their cybermats up to the surface to build an army to dig them out. Meadows claims that she has been trying to develop an antidote to the cybermat virus to convert her team back to flesh and blood.
You're very good. But it won't work. We need a sample of the virus in its pure form. Amy, we're going to catch ourselves a cybermat.
Thankfully, that cyberslave in the hallway has disappeared, so I can gain access to the new room. Where did he go? That is none of my business. I simply don't need to know. And that's the beauty of life, the unknown. Some things we don't need answers to, and that's beautiful. There's a locker that's locked, obviously, and I tried to sonic it open, and the Doctor is like, I'm not raiding people's lockers without good reason. Oh, so now you're all about people's privacy. We were literally hacking into a computer 5 minutes ago and looking up Professor Meadows' daughter? Like, my God. And you're like rummaging through people's bodies. Like, where is this morality coming from, dude?
Can you hear that? The cybermats are in the air ducting system.
And the Doctor deduces that it must be a net for the cybermats. So now we know where these suckers live, and now we have to find a way to destroy them. We find a handheld distress beacon device, which with some careful modding, it will emit an amplified sonic burst, like the sonic screwdriver, but extreme. And it'll work like an EMP device and disable the cybermats once and for all. But of course, this means it's a minigame. This one isn't too difficult, just adjust the dials and match the frequency and done. It's a little bit fiddly and it has to be like 100% perfect in order to work though. Dun 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 dun.
To make sure we take out as many cybermats as possible, we have to drop it right into their nest.
So back to their nest we go. The Doctor, being the gallant hero he is, makes Amy go into the ventilation shaft.
Take the beacon, climb up there, and while I keep the cybermats occupied with the sonic.
Wow, so brave.
Try to avoid any cybermats while you're up there.
Thanks. Doctor of the flaming obvious now, are you?
Amy spots the nest and detonates the beacon. It works, but she falls out of the ventilation shaft into a locked room.
It's all right, I'm fine. Then again,
Bro, it's that cyberslave we saw earlier. This is exactly what I meant by not needing to know things. Baby, you better believe I'm running away from this dude. I set a trap. There is a bunch of wires hanging from the ceiling, and once I flip the switch, the dude gets electrified. Job done.
Amy! Amy, are you alright?
man, never around when you want a job doing. Changing a plug, sorting out a cyber slave.
I love being a powerful woman. The Doctor finds a nanosynthesizer in the room, which is very convenient, which Meadows can apparently extract a sample of the cyber virus from. I thought we were trying to find a cybermat, but I guess this will do. Sure, whatever. But before we get to rush off to deliver the goods to Professor Meadows, we get a radio message. Some people from Fort Cecil are trying to deliver something, hopefully a new Doctor Who collection box set. But the radio capacitor is blown, so we can't reply to them to stop them from coming to the base. The Doctor entrusts Amy to find a replacement capacitor as he goes to work on the cyber virus cure. I search the base to no avail. I try to break into that locker again, and they wouldn't let me. I've really gotten used to stealing things now. You can't take away that ability from me. The rush, I need it. So, embarrassed, I go to find the Doctor and ask for help, and he treats me like a damn dirty dog.
Did you fix the radio?
No, but...
Then you really need to let me concentrate on this.
But he does give some help by saying I should try and talk to Chisholm. So I once again brace myself as I head back out into the cold in my miniskirt to talk to some creep. I spent a lot of Saturday nights doing that exact same thing. Chisholm asks a philosophical question.
Why are you still here?
And if I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't be running a Doctor Who YouTube channel now, would I? We ask him how he's going, and he's doing dreadfully, babes. But luckily, he does know where to find a spare capacitor and gives us the code to his locker. So we enter the code into his locker and find a capacitor. But since I've gotten a taste for theft, this just wasn't as thrilling, unfortunately. I gotta steal some candy off a baby or something to feel something again. But either way, there's time for that later. We put the capacitor into the radio and call Fort Cecil, and it works. She tells them that we're quarantined off with a convincing lie.
Polar flu. Really, really bad outbreak. We need to be quarantined just to be safe.
Now that's solved, we're off to find the Doctor. He's fuming because Professor Meadows has gone missing. But that's okay. Guess we can just make the serum all by ourselves. So, how do we create a vaccine? Easy. You rotate a bunch of colour bubbles whilst following the instructions in the top left corner. This game is pretty easy and it's fine. Dun 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 dun. And just like that, we've created the cure for the Cyberman's nanovirus. Like it's hard? We just need the Doctor to come and cure cancer because he's making it look really easy, dude. Anyway, now we've got a cure. We need to fix up old mate Chisholm, somehow get down to the Cybermen's base and stop them from waking up. Chisholm opens the door and he's becoming a cyber slave. And babes, he looks shocking. An absolute disaster. But he chugs down the antidote and the Doctor asks if he knows where Meadows could have disappeared to. And he guesses the excavation.
But that's where the cyber slaves are digging, isn't it? She's got to be mad.
How do we get to the excavation?
There's a lift in the lab.
He offers to open the door with a retinal scanner, but he's too sick to go with them. The Doctor leaves him there to rest as the serum does its work, and they head down into the excavation site.
Going down for household appliances and homicidal Cybermen.
Yep, you are so funny.
So we get down there, Place is absolutely crawling with cyber slaves, and we have to make our ways past them to get to the buried cyber ship. This bit used to always freak me out because the cyber slaves are scary as hell. I like how they're like hunched over and they just give me the creeps, dude. We make our way further down into the site and I get a little bit too impatient and I run off and the cyber slave just kind of kills the hell out of Amy Pond. And then baby, I made the exact same mistake again and Amy dies again. But eventually after killing Amy only twice, we make it to the Cybermen's buried ship. The Doctor guessed it was buried before the last ice age. The Cybermen were in suspended animation until the excavation woke the ship up and sent out the cybermats.
Once the Cybermen are awake, they'll complete their mission. Cyber conversion of every human being on Earth.
We make our way up some lifts, which are incredibly slow and tedious. One person has to use the control whilst the other goes up. We take turns until Amy is kidnapped by the cyber slaves. The Doctor is like, I don't have much time. Yet he takes 20 minutes to push a button. Dude is in no rush to save Amy Pond. He does not care. But we eventually make it to the Cybermen's control room where we find Professor Meadows. But a surprise to no one, She was converted a while ago.
So you were a cyber slave from the start?
And you answered the distress call I directed at your TARDIS.
Huh? Bro, this was a trap. They had strapped Amy to a conversion chamber. They'll let her go only if the Doctor helps repair their cryosystems, which were damaged in the crash.
Right, I'll do it.
Well, that's all right then. And we're back into another minigame. Just a bunch of balls in it. You know, it's actually kind of surprising that it takes until this long into the game until we actually see a proper, fully fledged Cyberman. I love the design of the Cybermen, even though they're a little bit too robot-like for me. The Cyber Leader instantly kills Professor Meadows.
Cybermen do not require cyber slaves. Cybermen are superior to all.
Another important message to not align yourself with people who hate your guts and just want to use you. Think about it. The Doctor legs it out of there.
Crisis averted.
We make our way down the corridors where proper Cybermen are on the hunt for a Time Lord. This dude can totally see me, but he's polite and sticks to his sensor range. I remember absolutely freaking out when I played this back in the day. When one of the Cybermen were chasing me down the corridor. I hate it. Unfortunately, at my big age of 30, nothing terrifies me anymore. I'm emotionless, like a Cyberman. You become what you fear. Think about it. We find Amy, hands tied to a chair in a cold, dingy room, waiting for a man. I've spent many Saturday nights doing that exact same thing. Can I get away with making the exact same joke in the same video? Well, yes. It's my channel, so it's my rules. We sonic her cuffs off and she's free. Now, to realign these lasers and mirrors so we can blow up the wall. Now, this took a little bit longer than it should have because I didn't know exactly where I was supposed to be aiming them. I assumed I was trying to blow up the conversion chamber chair, but it was supposed to be a wall so we can make an escape, which actually makes a lot of sense. We exit the room and a Cyberman kills me instantly. Not a great start to our escape plan, so we try again. This time, I actually sneak around the Cyberman and head back to the control room to stop the Cybermen once and for all. Because I'm the Doctor, and that's what I do, babes. We try to hack their computer to stop the awakening process, but we're caught by the Cybermen. We're saved by Chisholm, you know that creep from earlier? But he's looking a lot better now, so that's good. So he can talk to me now. So I've got one last question. How do we stop the Cybermen?
We turn their own bodies against them.
And you know exactly how to do that.
Of course, I can reprogram the nanoforms in the Cybermen's body chemistry to attack them. At least, I hope I can.
So, back to our little mini game, and I think being a scientist actually is like really easy. You just spin a couple of balls round and voila, a cure. If I was a scientist, I think I would just simply cure all diseases. Like it's hard, like just do it. I'd just do it.
That should do the trick. And we should have about half an hour to get out of here before it blows.
2 minutes to critical mass.
We've only got 2 minutes? Babe, we better start running. Oh wait, we can't. We have to walk really slow to the console and sonic it. And then let's do that again. We walk up to the next one, even slower, and sonic it. And then I run into a wall because I don't know how to use a keyboard. My God, what a mess. But we get out of there just in time. Boom!
Well, that seemed to go according to plan, in the end.
Do you even know what a plan is?
Job done though, Amy. Nanovirus reversed. Cybermen dead as hell. Cybership exploded. The Doctor decided to freak out Chisholm one last time because his nerves weren't shocked enough by dematerializing right in front of him. The dirty dog. We end on a shot of the Cybermen frozen in the ice. The end. And there we have it. Blood of the Cybermen. I love the setting for this one. The Cybermen in the snow is such a beautiful visual. I think that's one of the highlights of The Next Doctor, is seeing the Cybermen delete people in the graveyard. You know, that silver against the white snow is just gorgeous. Apparently, This was intended to be the first episode of this series, which sort of makes sense, since at this point, Matt Smith hadn't had a dedicated Cyberman episode like he did with Victory of the Daleks. But I think City of the Daleks is probably a stronger start to this series, and I think Daleks are more popular, so more people were probably willing to try it. I think it was a smart move. But I do think the Cybermen are a much more terrifying video game villain than the Daleks, and they're modelled brilliantly here. They look so great, and it's sad that we don't get to see them that much during this game. I think if I replayed this again, I'd probably spend more time in the cybership and get them to just chase after me. Just because I want to feel something, baby. I just want to feel something. It was nice seeing the return of the cybermats, and they can be really creepy critters. And I like the addition of making their sting convert people. It just makes so much sense for that to be an ability of theirs. But once again, this game has the same downfalls as the previous episode. Clunky platforming and dull minigames. But nothing that was too difficult to follow, and was still a really enjoyable playthrough. These still continue to be one of my favourite Doctor Who video games. But what did you think of Blood of the Cybermen? Did you enjoy playing this back in the day when it first came out, or have you never played it? Let me know in the comment section below. Okay. Oh, my leg! Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Josh Snares YouTube channel.